It's March 22nd, 2015, and we want to know, will E2 Dick Grayson be opening an orphanage post-war just because he's so good with kids?
Is Beast Boy's flippant talking dog going to give drunk uncle a run for his money?
All this and more is coming up next. It's Season 2, Ep 24 of DCR, starting now.
We rescue a world from mysticism and tyranny, and usher in a future brighter than anything we can imagine.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's
Distress Citizens Radio.
Everybody, welcome back. It's a multinational episode. It is I, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, and I am here with my friends, Mr. Brian Klein and
Hello.
Miss Kelly. Hello, how are you both today?
Good.
I'm doing all right. I love how you just pour thousands upon thousands of toxins into your throat and lungs, and you're like fine for 2 episodes in a row. And like I get a little excited about Bizarro, and I feel like I'm going to die.
It's the scorched earth policy. See,
I guess, yeah.
I've made it so my body, no poisons or germs can live within it, and I don't get ill.
All right.
Unless you do, and then you're like death.
Yes, and then I'm knocking on death's door. But guys, it is I, Sean Lamont, comic book reader extraordinaire, welcoming you back to another episode of DCR, and we are joined, of course, by Mr. Brian Klein. Hello, sir.
Hey there.
And Miss Kelly. How are you?
Good.
Kind of shorten it up. I was just being goofy at the beginning there. So, as always, we're going to be covering some comic bookery. So, Kelly, why don't you give the folks the fair warning clause?
We are going to spoil things in all your books that came out on Wednesday in the New 52 line.
You're going to have to rememorize this in like 2 weeks. We're in
Okay.
the last 2 weeks of the New 52 here.
I haven't even memorized this one. It's like we're going to go over plot beats, storylines, character stuff, some other,
We're so close.
some other, some other junk. And our opinions are our own opinions. And if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Take us with a grain of salt.
Okay, I think that covers it. So, fair warning, if you don't want your book spoiled, do not listen to this particular episode. This is our Weirdo Wednesday one. I want to say our last one, but I think we're doing another one next week as well to kind of fill out some of the holes that we still have here. So,
Wait, if you said this is March 22nd?
well, I've been fudging the dates a little bit because
'Cause-
it's
well, no,
the
'cause-
magic of podcasting. Not everyone's listening at the same time. So as people listen to it, way to destroy the illusion, Kelly. Way to destroy the illusion.
Well, I was thinking you wouldn't have another episode if that's the case because today's the 21st, right?
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you just back off, Kel? Why don't you just back off? You
Well, I
have
guess
no
it's the
problem with it being 2 weeks ago on the last episode that we just recorded, but this one when it's actually tomorrow.
I'm confused.
I was
That's
just like,
why.
why do I listen to this podcast at all?
They don't even know what day it is. Jeez. But as such, we are going to be skipping over questions, as we have said for the last couple. We'll get back on that horse here relatively soon. So today, what are we going to do, Kel? We trotted last week. I'm going to pounce. Row! Let's pounce onto this week's books.
Rumble roar. All right, it's Supergirl 40. We're going to spend our last day at Space Hogwarts.
Hey, you
I
left
gotta
out
stop.
with Rumble Roar.
I gotta stop getting excited about stuff. All right.
By
So-
the next book, it's just going to be Brian going, wheeze.
It'll just be like Donald Duck reviewing stuff.
That'd be funny.
Corstus, the evil-looking alien teacher who we thought wasn't evil but is evil, is going to clone a whole bunch of Superboys to use as the Galactic Peacekeeping Army.
Wait, we're cloning Superboy again?
Yep,
Hey, it's-
Xeroxes of Xeroxes.
It's worked so well before. We're going to do it again.
Why?
Because we need more Superboys.
No, we don't.
So, because it's the last issue, Supergirl gets saved by her team, teleporting in at the last second. It's Comet and Wolf Boy. They free Maxima and Good Lady Teacher and easily take out the evil alien teacher because he's just a grim Jim Henson creature shop puppet, probably.
Yeah, you look like from Far Space or
There we
something
go,
like
yeah.
that.
Farscape?
Farscape, yes. Even I got it wrong, and you couldn't remember it. You're waving your hands above your head like you couldn't remember it.
He's Kermit the Frogging again.
Yes.
It's all Jim Henson, you know.
Yeah.
Keep it Mm-hmm. Kara and Superboy team up with dual heat vision to destroy the cloning lab and most of the Crucible as well.
Whoops.
Yep.
Space Hogwarts.
No. So after everything is settled a few weeks later, the good lady teacher steps down as space principal to take a seat on Base Wizengamot. Is that what they call it? The next higher
the high
level
court. Yeah, that's the high court. Is the Wizengamot.
Yes. And
but this is in space.
Okay.
And so she decides to appoint Savo the Wolf Boy, a student at Space Hogwarts, as the new space principal. They says, "Oh, cool! And Maxima can be space vice principal." Wait, doesn't that mean that there is a previous space vice principal? Is he all angry and clearing out his desk right now because some uppity sophomore just got promoted to be his boss?
I think that
and
was
is appointing all of his friends to positions of power.
I think Evil Guy was space vice principal.
Okay. Yeah, but this is the most messed up student council I've ever seen. And guess what, everybody? Every day is Taco Tuesday now in the space cafeteria. Woo!
Stupid space nepotism.
Then he goes and surfs off on his buddy's space van, So Kara decides to go home, but not before Maxima drops the bomb that she's gay and had a crush on Supergirl. And Supergirl's just oh man, it's such a shame you had to leave your home planet to be yourself. Also, this probably would have been a storyline that would have really appealed and resonated with a bunch of our readers, for both positive and negative reasons.
Well, no, I thought that was actually a very cool, I guess that's a standard thing for the character.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was sent off to this central school where all the pinnacles of every race have been sent to find the perfect mate to keep her planet's progeny super strong and everything like that. And then she gets there and she's not really even interested in that aspect of things. I was trying to find the PG-13 way of saying it, but
Supergirl's really cool and progressive and super nice about it. She's well, shame it was just this one page later.
Yeah, peace. But I thought it was a cool character development for the character that probably deserved a lot more space.
Classic Maxima literally showed up on Earth to wed and bed Superman.
Okay.
So this is a nice little twist on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so she goes back to Earth to get her job back at Not Starbucks and asks her almost friend-zoned pal Michael out on a date. Then she cuts herself on her name tag and starts getting hungry. Is she turning human?
Human?
Human? Dun, dun, dun. So I guess Supergirl's story will continue in one of the other.
Yeah, well, since
books.
all of the other super books are linking up here in post-convergence, I have a feeling all of the family is going to be showing up there and kind of running around.
Gotcha.
So it will be less of a clearly delineated Superman, Superboy, Supergirl, and it will just be super people doing super things.
Super pets.
Yeah, maybe doing super pet things too, and super Olympics and
Laugh Olympics?
Super stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have more Superman. I just want to say art has been really, really fun.
Yeah.
In Supergirl for this arc.
Yeah, and I believe she's taking over Starfire.
Yeah, actually the entire artistic team is moving over to Starfire.
Oh, cool.
So it's the same colorist, same inker, and everything, I guess, is moving over into Starfire. So it should have a pretty similar vision to it, stylistically at least, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. I was quite enjoying it in this one. Superman number 39. We get some more super stuff going on. Where in this one, at the end of last issue, Superman had finally come out of
Did you say Superman 39?
Yes, I did.
We're an issue behind?
Yeah, they're an issue behind.
Okay.
Yeah. Superman had come out of the super closet to Jimmy Olsen and admitted that he was actually Superman. And Jimmy Olsen dropped his water and went, "What? How can this be? Okay, fine. Do something super." And he goes, "Yeah, funny story about that. I'm recharging. I did this super bomb thing. So I'm actually kind of human just for today, though. But
Super Bombbomb.
Yes, but
he's got a safety elevator to the mezzanine. Come on,
it's super.
Yeah.
So of course Jimmy Olsen is a little disbelieving at first with the whole, "Oh, so you're Superman, but you can't do any super things."
Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny, Clark. Pretty funny. And then they go out.
Just get that from discountHalloweencostumes.com there.
Though you do look quite like him without the glasses. How does that work? Oh, it makes my eyes different shaped when I wear them and blah, blah, blah. Technicalities. They do proceed to spend the day together, and they eat hot dogs and save little kids falling out of trees. And then they go to work, and it turns out that there was a hostage situation at the local bank. And Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane are going down to get the story, and Superman shows up, and the entire time Jimmy Olsen is standing there going, Clark, you don't have any powers. Why are you standing up there? You're just walking up to this guy and trying to talk to him. He has a gun pointed at you. He's going to shoot you. And Superman's able to talk this guy down in a really good scene. Really good, where it's him saying, hey, you made some bad choices. Don't worry, it's cool. We all make them. How about you not make any more, though? You just let the guy go. And even the hostage is like, you can trust him. He's Superman. It's a nice little cute scene.
Superman is super even without the powers.
Exactly. And then he ends up shaking the bank robber's hand and like turning him over, and I don't know, maybe they have coffee afterwards or something. And Jimmy Olsen, of course, meets with him afterwards and goes, you could have died, Superman. He's like, well, yeah, I could die any day. That's not really the point of the whole thing. It's me helping out where I can. Hopefully I'll get my powers back soon. He goes, yeah, you got him back. You're levitating 6 inches off the ground right now. He's like, oh, cool. Well, let's fly up to the top of the Daily Planet and eat more hot dogs and talk. And that's what they do. And they have a conversation. Jimmy even asks him, how was your one day of being human? And Superman responds, actually, it was, not as different as I thought it was going to be. And that's kind of how they close it out. And it's a nice little solid ending there.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice little scene. So I can't complain. Really divided opinions on the artwork with, John Romita Jr.'s stuff. I think it's the face, the squarey, blocky faces that have a lot of people turned off.
Yeah.
But, oh my goodness, at my local comic shop, they were, some heated debates on what they saw as sloppy versus artistic styling. And that seems to be the division point on whether you see it as an artistic style choice or as just kind of sloppy line drawing. And I don't know. You have to make your own call on that one, because that's completely subjective on your part.
And depending on what art school they go to, you can easily, it could be on purpose choice, because you could talk your way into anything being correct.
Yeah. I mean, it could be weird blockheaded people, like literally blockhead people, like from Gumby. So
yeah,
I would like to see that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Give it to me right now. Give me blockhead people.
Fine. Give me a piece of paper, dude.
Move on. What do you got next?
Batwoman number 40.
Final issue of Batwoman.
Kind of.
Oh, that's right. That's right. My bad.
So, Morgan Le Fay has risen a bunch of demons out of Slaughter Swamp.
Tracy Morgan Le Fay?
Like Native American Camelot demons from Slaughter Swamp?
Sure. Sure seems to be a lot of angry Native Americans in the swamp.
Yeah. And, Batwoman's team is out looking for her. Suddenly she sees a news feed reporting the murder of her girlfriend's stepdaughter and has sudden flashbacks that she was the one that killed her in vampire mode.
No!
She goes off to confront Natalia Mitternacht, her sort of hypnotized girlfriend, and she thanks her for murdering her stepdaughter for her. Best month anniversary gift ever. Way to go there.
Ooh, is that the 1 month?
That's the 1 month. Murder my stepdaughter.
Murder my stepdaughter?
No.
Okay. Phew.
Mm-hmm. Her sister, Red Alice, appears out of nowhere, and Natalie tries to get Batwoman to kill her, too.
Whoa! She already got her the 1 month anniversary gift.
Yeah.
She's got to do this one herself.
Yeah. So,
she's greedy.
Yeah, so Alice laughs her head off that her sister is a vampire now, and then figures it's probably a Mitternacht mind game, and points out that if she's undead, how can she be bleeding from the cut that she just gave her?
Well, touche. So wait, it was a bamboozle?
Yeah.
She, just put caps on her teeth. It was just like, ooh, you're a vampire.
No, she just thought she had vampire teeth. Yeah, so so basically she's like, okay, fine. If you're really a vampire, just kill me right now. And she can't because she doesn't really want to. And she's like, yeah, first rule of being hypnotized. If you don't want to do something, you're not going to do it. Guess what? You're not really a vampire. She's probably not a vampire either. And she's like, I'm a psychic empath, okay?
Was Andrew Bennett just standing in the background shaking his head?
Yeah, that's why he didn't show up. He would
damn fake vampire.
Yeah. So she framed Batwoman for the murder.
You guys are all posers. Posers. You're not OG like me.
Yeah. Or Michigan.
Yes.
Oh, if you're no Michigan the vampire dog's just shaking his head too. She probably didn't do anything bad over the course of the past 6 issues. Natalie just made her think that. You can't do anything you would want to under hypnosis. So, yeah, you didn't kill anyone, but you did sleep with me because you wanted to. You're pretty messed up, Kate.
Yeah, that was,
yeah.
That was a scene.
That was a scene.
That was a scene.
That's the thing she said. Yeah.
That was... I don't know if this was supposed to go on longer and if it would have played out any better with more real estate to do that.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It still felt... Oof.
Yeah, they underlined a few little internet complaints, but still just like, oh yeah, guess what? You totally did that though.
Yeah.
I haven't done that since college. It was fun.
Yeah, that was kind of the rough part where it
Yeah.
was just I'm not even bisexual. It was just something for me to do because I
Yeah.
wanted to mess with you. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, so Red Alice punches her out and streams her confession to the police. So we wrap that up, slap my hands together. So meanwhile, Morgan Le Fay uses a satellite to teleport herself and her demons to a space satellite.
Why? So they can get a better seat to watch the destruction of Earth.
Yeah. So Red Alice gives some Lewis Carroll inspired pep talkery. Ragman
Jabberwockies and carpenters and kings.
Yes. Ragman teleports the team to a flippin' Starlab space shuttle, and we're going to go fight her in space to be concluded in Batwoman Annual 2.
Yep.
Yep.
It was not very strong. I'm gonna be honest here. That scene with Mitternacht just really kind of tore any of the fun I was having.
Screeching halt. A little bit of screeching halt.
Oh my goodness, that just I was like, oh yeah, look at all the goofiness. They're gonna go up into space and fight wizards and stuff, and then it's just like, haha, kind of rape, ha 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 ha. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm just gonna put you down
That
for
was
now.
awkward.
Yeah. I really love George Janti's artwork.
Yeah,
He draws a mean clay face.
Yeah, yes he does.
Actually
So-
draws more of a soppy, happy, kind of sad looking clay face, but
Poor Clayface. I kind of hope this characterization moves on though.
yeah.
With him and
Ragman being,
as
you know, like,
the Golem buddies.
yeah, Golem buddies.
So moving on, I got Earth 2 World's End number 24, where we just opened up a hole into the side of Earth 2. The plating of Apocalypse had been opened up. The sun was streaming in, and finally, let's get those escape crafts up in the air out of Atom's Haven and heading on up to the Endurance so we can get people out of here. And as all the klaxons are going off and they're trying to get people aboard the little shuttlecraft to get up to the Endurance, Aquawoman shows up on the back of a giant sea monster, kind of breaks up through the ground with the few survivors of Atlantis that are left and goes, hey, can we come too? And they're like, yeah, come on, get in here. And it leads to a couple people being salty because they already might not have enough room for everyone.
Or are they salty because of the ocean water?
Wah, wah.
Sorry.
Batman is trying to do his part, so he's just going to send Huntress alone with the Codex, that thing that Batman put together with all the DNA and strands and whatever, the Jurassic Park thing that he has, or put together for her, and he's going to leave so that there's more space for people elsewhere to go. And there's just not enough room to get all of these survivors off of Earth 2, so it's come down to women and children first. So Dick Grayson,
Dresses like a woman?
sorry, that would actually be so much better than what is going to happen here.
Does he dress like a child?
That would be even better than everything that's
It's a
about
big
to
lolly and like a propeller beanie.
He goes up with his son, who you know what? I'll come back to it actually. He comes up with the son. They're like, sorry, women and children only. And he goes, man, how am I going to do this? Well, I can't just send him alone onto the spaceship. And he looks around and he finds the two most conspicuous, standout-ish people in the entire crowd, who are Big Barda, wearing full scale mail armor still, and a cloak over her head, skulking through the crowd. And she has also found one of her Furies, Kali, the orange, furious, brutal lady that just murders everyone with bright orange skin, and goes, hey, you two look trustworthy. Will you take my child onto the spaceship? And they look at him and go, sure. And they take his son, who I thought it was just a mistake. He doesn't have the same name, or at least Dick Grayson isn't calling him by the same name as he's been calling him in earlier issues. They just had this switcheroo off panel where he's not even calling his child by the same name anymore. This may not be his child. This may be like some sort of guilt thing that he gave away his actual son and he just found this other
Another
kid was
baby?
Like,
Wait, is
this
that
how
Constantine's baby? Or no, the baby that Constantine had?
Yeah, it's the same one that he keeps forking over to other people and just turn around. He turns around to Ted Grant and he's like, yeah, I'm a good dad. And Ted Grant's just mouth agape like, no, you're the worst father ever. So at this point, I'm assuming it's just, it has to be an actual gag. It has to be. You cannot, because when you're doing these types of stories, you have your plot streams where you're having a string of here's what's going on with this character, here's what's going on with this character, here's what's going on with this character, and then you kind of meld them together to make a story. Break them up into little chapter bits. So to look at the string of this character, it's wife died, handed off kid to Constantine, went, no, I handed off my kid to Constantine, looked for him, found him, lost him again when he picked up a batarang and went, hey, that's kind of cool, and turned around and couldn't find him, found him again, and then immediately handed him off to villains to take him to safety once more. If you look at that, it has to be intentional. It has to be a humorous thing. God, I hope it is a humorous thing. On the giant Ark spaceship, though, the Endurance, they're trying to stay alive long enough for all of these escape ships to arrive, and Alan Scott flies up there to try to help them out in keeping away Apocalypse as they're trying to attack. And on Apocalypse itself, the champions of Earth 2 have charged off where Power Girl and Val-Zod have taken the fight to Darkseid and the Council of Apocalypse. And they dismantle the Council pretty easily, but as Darkseid toys with Val-Zod, he's just sitting there smacking around like, God, I love beating up Superman. Every planet we go, it's like my favorite thing ever, just beating up the Superman of that planet. And he kind of smacks around Val-Zod some more, and that's when Power Girl climbs out from underneath some rubble and goes, see, that's where you're wrong. On this Earth, I'm the Superman, and she just kind of lays out Darkseid with this, like, super Power Girl punch. Pow! So kind of a pretty cool ending scene there. I thought that was pretty nice, but god damn, Dick Grayson. Jesus, man. Jeez. I just want to see him as, like, keeping track of all the kid survivors of Earth 2, and they're just, like, dying, and he's just taking other kids, and it'll be like Lemmings for him, where he's like, one of you has to hold an umbrella in case they go over a cliff, and the other one has a stop sign. All right, kids, let's traverse Earth 2 and all the parademons.
And then he gives his son the dynamite. It's like, well.
Sorry, kid, it was the last thing in the box.
Oh, God, I love that game. Oh, man, I'm really wondering what this convergence thing is going to do, because if we actually get the Earth 2 refugees coming over, like, if Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon's like child coming over is like an important plot point. This is some X-Men crap we're dealing with continuity wise.
Yeah.
So I'm cautiously optimistic that this is all gonna get sorted out.
Well, so far the only people that are on the escape craft is Huntress, that is basically going back to Earth Zero again.
Okay.
And then you have Mr. Terrific of Earth Zero, who's coming back as well. He was originally on Earth Zero and then went to Earth 2. And then we have Mr. Horrific, Terry Sloan, who's kind of jumped around a bit as well.
Yeah.
And I think Alan Scott and Sandman. Those are kind of our key guys that are in the actual escape craft right now.
Okay.
We don't know if they're all going to make it, but they're the guys that are at least
I think some of them wound up chopped up in the background of Future's End, so who knows?
We only got 2 more issues left on these, so it's on any of these weeklies, so they don't really have too much real estate to really kill off too many more. So I'm assuming.
But then who knows what's happening in Convergence? So.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Moving on.
All right, so Teen Titans number 8. So the Teen Titans just saved New York from a bunch of rogue Star Lab scientists who are going to
New York City
literally erase New York City with a device called the Eraser. So they got rid of the rest of most of them, but the press is saying, hey, what about that guy who is going to destroy New York? His name is Brooks, and Beast Boy and Bunker, who are hilariously charming as like the PR department of the Teen Titans.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's going to jail, yo, it's totally fine, that's great. It's like, but this Brooks guy, his full name is Dr. Archimedes Valentine Brooks.
Ooh.
I don't know, with a name like that, oh, maybe you should be a little more worried, guys.
That's some Emperor Penguin level stuff
yeah,
right
exactly.
there.
Ignatius Ogilvy team up featuring Archimedes Valentine Brooks.
But their names, they're too powerful,
Yes.
we can't kill them.
So after they're like now the heroes of New York City, they deal with the perils of fame after they save New York. Beast Boy hosts Not Saturday Night Live. He doesn't even get to do a monologue. I mean, come on, you couldn't get the featured performers to answer audience questions or have him do like a really bad song. Come on.
He could have done Toonses, the cat that could drive.
I know. Maybe he did. We didn't see all the whole episode. He pretty much gets used to bump a featured player up to the main cast because he stages like a fake assault on a cast member, and so he just goes full superhero mode.
Yep.
And it goes viral, you know, as they do. Bunker is going to get his own reality show.
He's getting his own Desperate Housewives style reality show.
Get the throwing line ready.
He's going straight to Bravo, and I was like, "Oh, poor guy, poor guy."
Bunker.
That's some Trigon level programming right there.
Well, as long as he's not like toddlers and tiaras, you know.
So Raven staves off a mosh pit riot at a Night Mistress show,
which happens all the time.
Some creeper spy cams his fight with Wonder Girl and streams it to the web. Creepy. And current Red Robin Tim Drake can't shrug the feeling that there was a super weapon even worse than the Eraser from the last issue, and this dead guy that they're studying right now that's like 107 years old probably isn't Dr. Archimedes Valentine Brooks.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
And he just goes on this big tirade about how we need to stop worrying about TV and social media and start paying attention to things that matter.
This fame is fleeting, guys. Mm-hmm. It's not going to help us out and help others.
Andy Warhol, man. Andy Warhol. And so Manchester Black says, "Oi, governor, but what about this Superboy bloke what's killing all these people on the internet? Oi, what, governor, what, lift?"
If I had a gong, I would have hit it about 15 seconds ago.
That was terrible.
Well, he had to separate him out from Alfred somehow. Yeah. So I guess he's going full on whatever that was.
Yes.
I don't know what that was. Terrible is what that was.
Sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry, entire country.
Yes. He's Manchester Black. He's got the Union Jack tattooed on his chest.
I'm not judging him. I'm judging you right now. So what do you think?
Not everyone can say, "Oh, hello," before everything they say.
What do you think of this in comparison to what we've gotten before?
Like in regards to this current run, or just...
Yeah, this current run.
I enjoyed it. I maybe would have liked to have seen a little bit more action, but it was a downtime issue, and I enjoy the continuing thread of, you know, the cult of personality aspect that they're having and the perils of it.
I think just like the Future's End stuff where they were waiting until after the event month to get out of the way so that they could start their actual storyline is a lot what this issue felt like.
Yeah.
And the way they used it at least was at least a useful use of real estate. It wasn't just, I don't know, they go play baseball or something and then watch some video games. And
like it was still continuing the story along. And of course, Rocafort was back this issue, and his secret weapon is he's so great at drawing animals.
Yes, his secret weapon.
Beast
Meerkats, the secret weapon.
Beast Boy talks to the press as a rhinoceros. Yes. That's the best part. Oh, man.
Just love children's shows should have just been lining up right there. Like, we need you on now.
Yep.
So you got one more for this
I'm continuing on to the distant future of 5 years from now.
5 years in the future.
So the new 52, Future's End number 46. At Terrifitech, Brother Eye is going all 2001 Space Odyssey on everyone and raising an army of dead security guards into spider robots.
Oh, no. Oh, God, we're on this issue, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Batman Beyond goes to help Adam, Batman, and Mr. Terrific deal with it, while his other pals are a few floors below dealing with said spider robot zombies. So downstairs...
Did you spell it robot?
Sweet. I did.
Sweet.
Yes. So downstairs, Plastique, Key, Coil, and former Red Robin Tim Drake, who, as we all know, is currently living under the names Wilkins Wonkins.
Two more episodes.
Fight off the spider robots as they push a bunch of them behind a closed door. Plastique then comes up with the great idea of charging up the door to explode, which kills all...
Sorry. Kelly's literally running in place in her chair. I don't know if she's like trying to burn calories or if she's just really excited for what you're about to say.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to make my Fitbit count
You're
more
cheating your Fitbit. Okay.
I am.
So Plastique comes up with the great idea of charging up the door to explode. which kills all the spider robots behind it. And then all of these spider robots behind the dead ones come pouring through the now completely open door.
My bad.
And Plastique gets to do her shrug to the camera again this issue.
That's Plastique.
Yep. So Key gets attacked by spider robots and probably dies. No. Coil goes after him, but because they're made of metal, right? I might be able to save us all with my magnet powers. Maybe.
Go Coil.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in upstate New York, Earth 2 Lana Lang gets teleported into the bed of Frank Rock, and she lets him know that she had potential superpowers all along.
Yeah.
Uses her dormant insect powers to paralyze Frank, lay an egg in his abdomen,
What?
which will cause him to protect said egg until the bug hatches out and starts to eat him alive?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
50 Sue shows up, teleports her mom out of there to a greasy spoon where Grifter and Judah Friedlander guy are waiting.
Did the writer change here?
No.
No.
Just wondering.
So Judah's kind of weirded out by everything. 50 Sue thinks it's all awesome because of course she does.
Of course.
He's just like, and hey, what about that giant DNA vault we were lugging around? And like, 50 Sue shrunk it down to like a dollhouse size. It's a vault for ants.
How are they going to get the DNA if they can't even get inside the building?
Yes. Which is even more appropriate given Earth 2 Lana Lang's new powers?
Yeah.
She's the Red Bee or something? I don't know.
She's the insect queen.
Yeah, and then Sue does her best Porky Pig impression, and was that the last of 50 Sue and her friends? Is that it?
I hope not.
No.
Not ever. I think it's going to be the end for Future's End, 50 Sue and pals.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then they're going to teleport to New York City so they can go to Convergence, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
God, they better get there.
Yeah. So,
I think what's going to happen is Convergence is going to happen, and all the people are going to leave this timeline that are cool, and they're going to look around and be like, man, this place used to be so much more cool. Let's go somewhere else, and then they'll teleport over to ours.
I hope so, yeah. Firestorm saves a kid from the New York mess and reunites him with his mom, and then goes and waxes poetic at the Wounded Duck about how it went up in flames and was immediately condemned. Just like her relationship with Wilkin Wilkins went up in flames and was immediately condemned. So Jason Rush tells Madison that maybe she should tell him that she's still alive, and she says, no, it's too complicated.
Wait, who is she supposed to tell that to?
She's supposed to tell it to Wilkins Wilkins.
God damn.
Yeah. And so then a JLA alert sends her to Terrific Tech, where surely she won't run into Wilkins Wilkins. No. So Batman Beyond reunites with Plastique and Wilkins, when suddenly Man-E-Face's Joker Batman hybrid robot shows up and mows everything down with bullets. So then he gently grabs Batman Beyond by the neck, and then Batman Beyond throws him out of a hole in the building, flies back, and I guess he's dead now?
He got shot. Yeah.
He got shot. It wasn't very clear.
No, it was when they were falling. That was why the Batman Many-Faces had turned around and apologized to him as the gun was shooting into his chest as they were falling.
Gotcha. Yeah, so, Wilkins helps him back into the building and says some stuff about how he knows he doesn't live to see the future, but maybe he's going to have to take over as Batman Beyond or something?
Yep.
Well, so, Plastique shows up, and Terry, he just dies in her arms tonight.
No!
Oh, it must have been something Wilkins Wilkins said. No. Oh, sad.
One of the
Be
few
sad.
things you wanted to leave from this was these two to move on, and now you're gonna get something different.
Sad.
Hey, maybe Plastique will go into the future for the Batman Beyond stuff.
Maybe. She already
Batman
looks like
Beyond.
she's already dressed for it.
Well,
so.
she is kind of already in that whole future cyberpunk stuff, so not happy.
No.
I actually like Terry McGinnis in this one. And I don't even have that many ties to the character.
Yeah.
I saw the cartoon 20 years ago, and I know there was a bunch of books that Kyle Higgins was writing that were supposedly really good in the recent years, but, well, bye.
Bye. Yeah.
But again, this is a possible future.
Yeah.
Possible
future.
So we may get him back after Convergence.
Who knows what that big Lex Luthor Brainiac Metamorpho looking thing's gonna do. So.
Exactly. So, That's all of our books for this half of the show, though. So, Brian, what do you got coming up for round 2?
I've got 2 issues of Batgirl, and I've got Batman Superman.
And I've got Batman Eternal number 50. So close to the end, and I think we get our big reveal this week. We get Red Hood and the Outlaws number 40, Trinity of Sin number 6, and I will wrap it all up with Green Lantern Nude Guardians number 40. So hold on a couple seconds. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will go through those books.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Not doing the voice this time.
Yeah, it's gone.
Nope.
That's why. But we are back in the Bat half of the show, as per usual, so we're just going to lead the charge, since Bizarro's not here to screw things up.
Or is he here?
Bizarro is here. So we can move on with Batman Eternal number 50, where we kind of just get the aftermath of the end of the last issue with Bane laying under the wreckage of an F-16. I'm assuming that Batman put Jeep stuff all over the front of it.
Oh, yes.
Jeep stuff! Promoted! From one of my favorite YouTube channels, Neeps Gaming. So good. Good. But as Bane is lying underneath the wreckage of this plane, he's sitting there going, I can taste your fear, Batman, and it tastes delicious. And Batman, of course, is all angry mode now, so he goes, well, taste my boot. And with the history we have, and since we're coming up to the end of the New 52, I feel this is a completion of a character arc, because I just picture Bane underneath the wreckage going, no, it was a metaphor, I used it correctly. And Batman stomps his face. That was the character arc of Bane for me in the New 52. He finally used a metaphor correctly. He understands symbolism. Didn't work out for him in the end. So, in Blackgate Prison, though, the GCPD arrived just in time to see Gordon being a badass. He's sitting in an open cell reading a book, and just as he hears people walk by, he's like, guys, I'm not done reading my book, but I'll still whoop your ass. And they're like, it's us, boss. We're here to break you out. He's like, cool, let's go. Let's go save some people. They're like, he's kind of scary. Meanwhile, though, the Penguin escaped as well, and he was picked up by Killer Croc, who's having his own New 52 arc. I'm assuming he's working for Catwoman still, and he agrees to work for her in exchange for being broken out of prison, which kind of changes the things that are going on in the Catwoman book right now, where Penguin is acting as the arbiter, and he just pitched in with Black Mask to topple Catwoman and her crime family. So maybe it's an inside job. I don't know. I guess we'll find out here pretty soon. Penny 1 and Penny 2, both Alfred and Julia Pennyworth, are trying to manage the emergency response in the city because it's on fire. It's on fire. Fire! Man's greatest invention. And it's burning to the ground, and all of the villains are running around free. And they find that there is an invitation kind of out there. If you go to like the emergency websites, it is a picture of the bat signal on top of a building. And they're trying to get a hold of Batman, but he's too busy running around saving all of the other members of the Bat family. Bails out Batwing by beating up Scarecrow, and then he runs across the street, punches out Clayface real quick so that Red Robin can get away, and then he runs around the corner to the suburbs and helps beat up Mr. Freeze for Harper Row. And before he can even run over to the amusement park, Batgirl already shows up with Joker's daughter and just throws her on the ground and is just going, it was Joker's daughter. It was some teenage girl with a creepy mask. I think anyone could have taken her down. I don't need the help. Thanks, though.
They're finally trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah, well, I think they understand where Joker's daughter stands in the pecking order, and they're just like, yeah, I guess she showed up and punched her in the face and just dragged her back here. So he goes, okay, Bat family, get out there and save as many people as you can, and they all scatter, and that's when finally Alfred gets a hold of him and says, hey, it looks like someone's trying to get your attention because they put the bat signal on top of some other building. He goes, oh, it's Beacon Tower. Well, head over there and find out what's going on. And he shows up, and there's this mysterious voice taunting him the entire time. You didn't even know who was behind it all. Everything was right there. You couldn't figure it out. Oh, you're so silly, Batman. And he gets tased by all this electricity that's up there as well. And as he's laying on the ground, the mastermind, the true mastermind that has been behind this entire thing, steps out from the shadows. And we get to see...
Well, it's electricity, so it must be Volt from Catwoman, right?
No.
Oh.
It's Clue Master and Family Gang Night. Yes! Who are behind the entire thing.
USA. USA.
Yes! And as I said two episodes ago, slow clap.
Mm-hmm.
Slow clap. That's all I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only 2 issues left. It could be another fake out. I don't think they have the space to make another fake out. They just ended it with Clue Master going, the clues were right there all along, but you didn't have clue goggles, so you couldn't see them. Mixed reaction to this reveal, let me tell you. Woo! There's a lot of people going, no, this is just another psych out. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think it is. Because if you go back, there are some clues. There are some clues. So
Blue paw prints everywhere.
Everywhere. So I guess we're going to find out in the next 2 issues if this is the case.
So he should have been walking around with his handy dandy notebook taking notes on this, shouldn't he?
Should have.
Handy dandy bat notebook.
Or a backpack.
Yes.
Could have had a backpack.
No.
Backpack. Tell me where the bad guy is. Backpack.
No. The clues are from Blue's Clues.
I know what it's from. I'm just
backpack.
going with child stuff.
I think it's from someone who doesn't know how to understand the simplest of instructions.
Yeah, we don't
requires
speak
everyone
of the
else to do her work for her.
But Batman's always like swipe or no swiping. He does it all the time.
He does. He does.
So moving on.
Moving on to Batgirl number 40.
Sniper, no sniping.
Yeah, that comes from She Who Will Not Be Named.
Yes. So Batgirl has come face to face with her crime-stopping algorithm that got stolen by Riot Black, which includes a scan of her brain from when she got paralyzed and was super grimdark angry. And it's going to use the algorithm to determine where future crimes are and will kill every potential criminal. And guess what? That is everyone.
Yes.
Everyone is a potential criminal.
Yes. That's, oops.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
a little bit of a glitch in this program.
Yeah, so basically Hook has been infected by an evil computerized version of Barbara Gordon that is all glitchy looking and yelling at her from a computer screen.
And grumpy.
Mm-hmm. So at the Big Hook concert featuring Ashes on Wednesday, Black Canary's new band, she launches a bunch of attack drones to assault people.
God, we need some Hawks.
I know.
ASAP.
I know. To assault people and keep them in place so she can fire an orbital laser at them.
Sure.
So after Batgirl beats up an evil CompuBarbara controlled Riot Black, hops out to the concert with style.
Yes.
Using the balloons as like it's so cool. Just buy it. Look at it. It's cool. She figures out how to stop the drones with help from Kadir, has Black Canary short them out with a very specific frequency of canary cry, caw, and talks down her evil Compu doppelganger while Frankie manages to super hack the algorithm and shut down the orbital laser.
3D isometrics? Was it 3D? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So, hunky Officer Liam gets put in his place when he tries to arrest her. Barbara gets away Batman style, and everyone has a great time at the concert. So, Frankie is going to join the crime-busting team, and she's managed to take out the brain scan part of the algorithm and is now going to use the program as a great crime-busting thing, and she even came up with a name for it. It's totally not going to be Oracle.
Hey, wait.
It's gotta be Oracle. It's gotta be Oracle.
I thought you were going to do the cutoff that they did in the book.
No. Yeah. Black Canary shows up to let everyone know that she's getting a spin-off while she fights crime touring with her band, and we're going to see you in 2 months, everybody.
Hey, it's been real. See you guys soon. Really fun. Really good time.
I look forward to Dinah being truly, truly outrageous.
Truly, truly outrageous. No, I think that's actually a pretty good spin for the character. She's had a pretty rough go. I know, during the end of Birds of Prey, we were really kind of digging not really digging, but what's the word I want to use? We were getting quite a few laughs from the stuff going on with her ex-husband.
Yeah.
And the put him in a wheelchair while they both stand on opposite ends going, come on, ex-husband.
Yeah.
Come on, ex-husband. Choose me.
Well,
This is a much better place for her to be than where she was.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that stuff most certainly. Of course, Batgirl, the center of a bunch of stuff that we're not going to talk about, so I just wanted to make sure we kept it to the book itself. So much fun.
Yeah.
Good job. Go
that's
team.
all I've been paying attention to. It's been
I
great.
know. You don't look under the bed. I have to.
Yeah, I know.
You've sent me out. I'm like the minesweeper for you, and I just tell you, don't read this. Don't read.
Yeah. So, you're the canary.
I am.
Caw. You're just like, caw, don't Google search
God,
Batgirl
the
this
internet's
week.
killing me.
So, I'm continuing on with Batgirl Endgame. It's Stuart Fletcher and someone who just goes by the name Bengal. Looks really nice.
Yes.
It's a silent issue where Barbara saves a VIP bus from Joker zombies, and especially saves Tiffany Fox from the Batwing's little sister.
Yes.
By just being cool and using emojis, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would think there would be a Joker emoji
you would think.
instead of just a smiley face. You would think in Gotham City there would be like Joker emoji, run emoji, now emoji.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks super nice, but it is, being a silent issue, it reads super fast, and just like the Money Spider issue, kind of inessential, but it also might inspire Tiffany to eventually join the League of Batgirls or whatever it was called.
That's kind of what it felt like. It was the inspiration issue
yeah,
for her.
like everyone really loved that part of the what was it, the Futures End issue? Yeah,
yep.
So if they're gonna try to slowly shuffle that back into modern continuity,
or
nothing wrong with that.
Get that. Remember how we were saying before, the Future's End issues almost feel like the capstones for all of these New 52 ones that aren't getting a quote-unquote ending, so to speak. You have that to fall back to, and this is your Cedar issue to take you into that, and then you're like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I thought it looked really nice.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was beautiful.
Bengal would be a great backup artist for Babs.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Or even doing any other book in the line. I wouldn't mind anything.
I would take him somewhere else, I think. Him or her,
Don't know.
Okay, well, I would take them somewhere else.
It's hard to Google search someone who just goes by the name Bengal, because I just get a bunch of stuff about tigers.
Touche.
Yeah.
Touche. See, that's the kind of branding that people need to think about when they get into art.
80s band?
Yeah, it's like trying to Google search the band Fun with a period. It's like, oh,
It's like trying to Google search me.
didn't think about
You
that
get all sorts of
SEO.
stuff.
Yeah, didn't think about that SEO.
You get rugby players with
Sketchy calendars.
yes, not even sketchy, just full frontal nudity.
Oh God. Well then,
my HR appointment's always great when I go to interview after they Googled me and they're like, "Oh, that's not who I thought."
You can always tell when they Google searched you, though.
Yep. I just see the light dim from their eyes and the disheartened look on their face. Oh man. So moving on, I got Red Hood and the Outlaws, since we're going to keep it juvenile here. And if you guys recall, they were going to be fighting off against Hellspawn and the Citadel army that he was going to invade Earth with. So it's up to Red Hood, Arsenal, Starfire, Crux, and Ravager to stop him in his tracks. And so they go, haha, action poses, let's do it, as Hellspawn's standing there, and then Arsenal shoots him with an arrow, and Hellspawn, this big bad Damonite leader, is just like, oh man, that's just so adorable. I just can't even attack you guys now. You shot me with an arrow. That is just so cute. That's precious. That is just
Does he do a condescending slow clap?
I like him like this.
Yeah.
I think that's great. That gives him a personality instead of generic space bad guy. So, I think the internet was calling him posh alien bad guy, and I was like, yeah, I like that actually. So the entire team gets taken captive, but Crux recognizes that all the troopers that he have are all linked together. So if he can overload one, he'll overload all of them. But Hellspawn calls down Blackfire, his lieutenant, aka Starfire's sister, and orders her to kill them all. And Blackfire looks at them, and they go, "No, it's me, your sister. Don't do it." and she ends up turning on Hellspawn and stabbing him. From Hellspawn's heart, I stab at thee.
Yeah.
And ends up getting punched into unconsciousness, gets punched straight into a coma. Starfire flies off to try to grab her and help her recover. Crux uses that time to jump on a nearby trooper to try to overload him and is successful, while Jason Todd squares off against Hellspawn using all of his training and his master martial arts skills to get the upper hand and try to take him down, but nope, sorry, you're no match for giant posh space guy. So Arsenal goes and gets a giant space tank and shoots him in the face because obviously a bow and arrow didn't work, and they win. Yay!
Yeah, okay.
It's actually really funny because it's just this silent panel after Hellspawn gets shot in the face. It's just Arsenal standing on top of this alien tank like, woo! Again, they're so inept, but it's so much fun. So we get our kind of transition into post-convergence here. Starfire is going to take her sister back to their home planet of Tamaran to help her recover. Crux is going to fly the spaceship along. Maybe they'll have some solo adventures along the way. Who knows? But she says goodbye. Goodbye, Arsenal. I love you dearly. I will never forget you till we meet again.
Until I forget you because of my character traits.
And of course, that leaves Roy kind of sad as well. And he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to just kind of go do my own thing for a little bit. Is that cool? And he's like, yeah, we're cool, man. Fist bump. Get on out there. Do your thing. I'm sure we'll run across each other again, maybe in the Red Hood Arsenal book that's coming out in 2 months.
Maybe.
And then it just kind of leaves Jason Todd and Ravager standing there with Ravager going, man, this is awkward. Your whole team just kind of broke up right here. Sorry. And he's like, nah, don't worry about it, man. We
Better than your team.
It's true. Don't worry about it. We weren't a team. We were just a bunch of friends palling around. Yeah, freeze frame. Of them just standing there. Again, it's not the most cerebral book. I'm not gonna lie. It's your action movie popcorn book, but the interactions between a lot of the characters has been a lot of fun. I know people despised it from its first issue with the characterization of Starfire. It recovered, and it was actually a pretty fun book moving forward. I know there's a very small but vocal fan base that I'm a part of that actually really enjoyed the book. So if it piques your interest, give it a shot. That's what I'll say. So it's fun. And who can complain about fun other than the band? Because it's hard to Google. So
yeah, I know, right?
So do I go on next or?
It's you.
Yeah, it is. Trinity of Sin number 6. Yeah, fun. The Trinity of Sin were captured by the Dark Earth minions, by Nimra and all of her demon pals. And they are led off to the actual leader of the Dark Earth people, this tri-headed beast monster thing, who is like, okay, who are you guys? What are you doing here? We're here because Nimra's changed the Earth back into this Dark Earth. And, unfortunately, it looks like Nimra did her job too well, because when she brought back Dark Earth, it was right at that point of time as if it never left, so no one else there believes her that she brought back the evil Dark Earth. So they're all like, Nimra, you're so stupid, and smacking her around and stuff. And everyone kind of feels bad for her. Even I did. I was like, oh, that sucks. Spending all that time bringing this stuff back and no one believes you? That kind of blows. If you weren't evil, I'd feel real bad for you. But during that entire conversation, the Trinity of Sin power up. They supercharge into Super Saiyan mode with all of their the energy that was coming out of the redemption box. And the only thing they can do is draw all of the darkness of Dark Earth into themselves. And that's what they do. They each take a third of it, suck it into themselves, and then it goes back to normal, yay, happy modern day Earth. Nimra, though, was also caught in said transformation wave and is now an angel bird thing instead of a demon bird thing. And,
there's subtle differences.
Well, they pulled all the darkness out of her heart, I guess. And she just kind of flies up.
Did it grow 3 times in size?
It did.
Okay.
She flies up and goes, I don't want to fight you guys, but I do think this is important. Phantom Stranger, here is my general's sword. You'll know what to do with it. You'll know. And then as they're about to leave, they're all like, well, what are we going to do next, guys? Now that we're all pals as Trinity of Sin. The question goes berserker mode and goes, hey, I still hate you guys, and knocks them unconscious. And the other two wake up, Pandora and Phantom Stranger, a couple hours later and go, what the hell was that about? I thought we just had a character arc here. And that's when they figure out that it was the question taking all of the darkness from their souls of Dark Earth into himself so that they didn't have to carry the burden anymore. Question's a nice guy again. But we just kind of see him staggering off and he disappears into a question mark shaped puff of smoke like he did all the time before. And Phantom Stranger returns home where he had left the corpse of Terrence 13 just sitting on his couch for all this time. But they even say no time has passed. It's only been like 10 minutes. He goes, wait a minute. That's right. Terrence 13, my partner, the sword. That's right. And he kind of plunges it back into his body and pulls his soul back into it. And Terrence 13 wakes up with a cough like, I feel like crap. And he goes, yay, Terrence 13 is back. Yay. At least we got that back.
Yeah.
Hey, see? And it ends with them going, yay, well, maybe we'll all get together again. And now that we know each other and we know our weaknesses and we'll move on from there. Again, it's this, I don't want to say it's the Justice League dark problem of metaphysical solutions to metaphysical problems, but it was kind of what this book was, which is, don't get me wrong, what it should have been with these types of characters. We never got any of the questions answered that we all wanted going into this book. Who are these people? Why were they punished? And what is going on? We know why Pandora was punished. We know why Phantom Stranger was punished. Who is the question? And I understand that's kind of his
Convergence
thing.
is just going to kind of take like an oily rag. Just go,
just go. There we go. There. Now we know the question.
Question is just to do it again.
Yep. So we'll see where they move forward from there. If that's your thing, if you like the more character studies, I thought we had gotten enough of it with these particular characters elsewhere. So maybe it didn't resonate enough with me, but if that's your thing, there it is for you.
Yeah.
So next up.
All right. Batman Superman number 20. We are finishing off the Superman's Joker storyline. Xadu the Phantom King has taken control of the bottle city of Kandor and is forcing Superman to get beat up by his grandmother.
That is a dark plan right there.
Yeah. Supergirl is fighting her BFF from school. Batman busts out his red sun generator to beat up the old lady because she's not my grandma.
He says that too. He clubs an old lady with a red sun generator and is like, not my grandma. My grandma's dead.
Man, Batman, all of your relatives are dead. Then Superman's cousin fries Batman to a crisp. Batman finally dies in Batman Superman number 20.
No!
So the supers are forced to beat up their friends and relatives because Xadu the Phantom King is the worst. He unleashes the Red Sun Bomb to take away the Kandorian's powers, and Xadu gets taken out by his only weakness, getting hit on the back of the head with a microscopic space station. And
less hit on the back of the head and more ripping through all of his bandages and his energy disperses again.
Well, yes, that too. Yeah. So Batman's back. Ray Palmer shrunk him at the last second and beamed him out so they could enlarge the ant farm to like basketball size and knock out Xadu and push him back into the Phantom Zone, pushing him through a portal.
Of
as
course.
you do.
Yeah. Check.
Mm-hmm. They're forced to put the Kandorians back into comas again because a bunch of them still want to murder everything from the House of L. Fighting your own Joker kind of sucks, doesn't it? It's like, oh no, I love my victories like I like my coffee, cold and hollow.
Oh, yeah. I love my coffee hollow.
Yep.
Yay.
Ooh.
Bright and sunshiny.
Yep.
Although, post-convergence, I don't know if you saw it, everyone's sporting a new look, so maybe we'll have a different dynamic between these two here. They just got to being friendly friends again. Like they're palling around all the time in this book and doing things. Fun things. Well,
Okay.
maybe less fun, but
Yeah.
they're at least
Not so much
jovial
as-
with
yeah.
one another. They kind of
Yeah.
joke around. I mean, Batman just beat down his grandma. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta really like a guy to let him beat down your grandma.
Yeah. Mhm.
So what'd you think of the Superman's Joker storyline?
There are a lot of really strong parts to it.
Yeah.
I actually like the fact that they're trying to boost up Xadu the Phantom King as opposed to,
yes.
just throwing a new character and says, this one
Another
beat up
Zod.
this beat up all your other villains. He's so badass. One of those deals.
Here's another Zod. He's
Yeah.
back again.
Yeah. So it was nice to see that.
Yeah. I thought they, again, had great ideas. Ending felt a little rushed this last issue,
Yeah.
so
It's almost like they probably could have maybe gotten another issue out of it.
I think it was
It's just-
probably planned to be stretched maybe one more, so.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, he's fighting his relatives. Okay, I guess.
But we can't fault them because just like going into Future's End Month, they're making sure they're wrapping up every storyline before they go into it.
Yeah.
that's what they should do, and they're doing a good job of it at least.
Yeah.
So, last book of this episode, though, also a finale, the end of an era. Green Lantern, New Guardians, number 40, where Kyle, Carol, the New Guardians, and all of the allies they have made throughout Justin Jordan's run are taking on Oblivion, the nega Kyle Rayner, reverso Kyle Rayner. And Kyle's about to give up in this fight because Oblivion has some good points. You're just going to become a power-hungry god being, just pushing your will on the entire universe. That's why you created me, so that you couldn't let that happen. And Kyle's like, he's got a good point. Kind of don't want to be a totalitarian god figure in the universe, so I'm just gonna die here. You guys go about your lives. And Carol tells him, that's not really, so my two choices are you as a totalitarian god being or dead. There's gotta be some middle ground in there somewhere if we could find it. If you don't like the rules of the game, change them. And that's when he realizes, hey, you're right. I am a god being. I can kind of do whatever I want here. And he calls the Guardians to him and says, help me dissect the life equation into like 7 or 8 little subsegments and forge them into the White Lantern Core. So they're going to make White Lantern rings, and that's what they do. So there is now a White Lantern Core, and the rings go flying off. And they go to people like, say, Soren, the young lady from the planet, and also the Future's End issue. A spider lady named Romgan, some cubist creature named Talahay, Exeter, the big brutish guy that was in there, he gets one as well. And last but not least, Telos Usur of Daxam. And Brian's looking at me all confused because he recognizes the name, but he doesn't know from where.
Yeah.
Huh. How weird. But I just want to point out there, we got a Daxamite, got a White Lantern ring, and the White Lantern rings actually ask, hey, you seem like a nice person. Would you like to join the White Lantern Corps? And people are like, yes. Since you asked so politely, I would. The other rings came by and were just like, you're a Yellow Lantern now. Blah, blah, spit blood everywhere. You're red. So they end up...
Yellow and Red Lanterns personified by Avril Lavigne, apparently.
They end up toppling Oblivion pretty easily at that point. And everyone kind of goes their own way afterwards. They're like, Guardians are going, well, we better get back to Oa. And St. Walker's like, gotta go spread hope. Peace, everybody. And he flies off to be super cool elsewhere. Like, so needed everywhere else in the universe.
Just next to the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The Green Lanterns are, he's kind of standing off to the side going, I'm going to be so awesome.
They're so useful.
But that's who needs him the most.
But as they all leave, it's down to just Kyle and Carol. And Kyle pulls out one last ring. One last White Lantern ring to hand over. And she's like, I know you've been out here in space with just your Beyonce albums, but I don't care if you like it. You ain't putting a ring on it. It's way too early, and multiplex in the background dancing. Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. For a little callback action there. But he's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. I just want it to be known that I hid one of them. Everyone thinks that the life equation has been split in 7. Only you and I are going to know there's an 8th one out there, so that if we
none of this Harry Potter garbage here.
Yeah,
it's
so
the 8th Horcrux.
Yeah, well, then it's going to be if we ever need to get the life equation back together again for, like, I don't know, a big Anti-Monitor Darkseid war or something like that. If we need it, you and I will both know that there is another ring out there that needs to be gathered so that we can put the life equation back together again. And she goes, okay, well, that's a pretty good idea. And he goes, whoosh, and off it flies into the cosmos. We don't get to see where it goes. And they both decide, you know what? Being out in deep space all this time kind of sucked. You ready to go home? Yeah, I'm ready to go home. And they fly off back for Earth. The end. It was nice. Yeah. It was a fitting ending for the book. For a small little 3-issue arc to end it, I thought it was a really strong ending. They brought back everyone from the entire run, as well as the themes that they had explored before with each one of them. It was a good ending. Solid. Very well done. Way to go, guys.
Thumbs up, Justin Jordan.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see where Kyle Rayner ends up after Convergence. And I'll just say it at that. So, cause I know where he ends up. So
okay.
I'm not going to spoil it. But that's it. That's all of our books. Another shorter episode for us. We've gotten fewer books the last 2, and Brian was losing his voice, so we were kind of powering through a little bit. But as a reminder to you guys, you have to go out there and buy these books. You guys know the spiel. If you don't buy them, they don't make them. Blasity, blasity, blah. You got to support the hobby. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, yeah,
yeah. But as before, end of arcs, end of an entire line of books right now. So if you don't want to jump in, you can always fall back to trades earlier. Just make sure you support the hobby, because if you don't, no one else is going to pick up your slack. Well, maybe someone else will, but you are your own person. And if you're not enjoying something, drop it. Walk away from it.
Yep.
Don't lurk. That makes you bitter and angry, and we don't like bitter, angry people. Except for Beth. That's the only bitter, angry people I like. But let's talk about next week. We talked enough about this week. Let's talk about next week. What do you say, Brian?
Sure, why not?
Okay, well, next week we got Aquaman, number 40. Him and his mom not having a Kodak moment. We get Arkham Manor, number 6. The saddest of days for me. The end. Batman and Robin, number 40, with Damian leading the charge with the rest of the Justice League to go fight Godzilla. Batman Eternal, number 51, coming up to the end. 2 issues to go. Catwoman, number 40. Stunning cover. I don't know if you've seen it. No. With her taking off the pantsuit and has it's almost like she's peeling away the top layer of her skin, and it's her Catwoman costume underneath. But it's the pantsuit. Is
Jai Lee still doing the cover?
Yeah, it's the last one he was doing for it. It looks really sharp. Deathstroke, number 6. Earth 2, World's End, number 25. Gotham Academy, number 6. Double shot this month. You got 2, buddy. Gotham by Midnight, number 5 as well. We get to see the Batplane flying between 2 Titanic wars. Infinity Man and the Forever People comes to its end with number 9. Justice League Dark, number 40. Red Lanterns, number 40. Secret Origins, number 11. Sinestro, number 11. Star Spangled War Stories featuring G.I. Zombie, number 8. The Flash, number 40. New 52, Future's End, number 47. And last but not least, The Multiversity Ultra Comics, number 1. It comes to its close as well. So isn't there a Multiversity issue 2 afterwards for a bookend?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not coming to an end yet. But yeah, I guess
the big one they've been hyping up. So
our 2 short weeks are followed by the rest of the books apparently next week. So we'll pick it up from there as we wrap up pretty much the New 52 with that episode, I believe. There's a couple issues that'll be stragglers after the fact, as far as I think there's a Batman Eternal issue and the
Batwoman.
There's
annual.
The weeklies, a couple annuals, and I want to say Justice League are going to be follow-ups afterwards. So we'll see where it goes from there. But that's it. That's all of our books. That's all of our fun. That's all of our happiness. Kelly, why don't you tell the people how they can get in contact with us if they want to?
You type DCR podcast into the internet.
Wait. I'm still removing the virus from last episode.
Shut up.
Okay. So I email
the
internet and say, give me DCR podcast.
Yes.
Is it internet@internet.com?
No, you...
First press the any key.
Okay, go in, open your browser.
Got it.
Okay. Type DCR podcast.
Okay. DCR all one word? Capital is the D capitalized?
It's capitalize not case sensitive.
I don't capitalize anything.
It's infuriating.
No, I really don't.
Oh my God, it worked. I found us.
Yes. And if you want to email us, then it's feedback@dcrpodcast.com.
Not internet@internet.com.
No.
I don't know who that's going to... I'm going to email internet@internet.com and see who responds. Who are you? Ooh. I really want to know. But yes, if you do want to reach out to us, we should be catching up with our correspondence here very, very soon. So if you guys do not have anything else, Kelly, you good?
Yeah, I think so.
Now that you've schooled us in internet workings. Brian, how about you?
Yeah, sure, I'm done.
Yes. So without any further ado, everyone enjoy your books, enjoy your week, enjoy your lives, enjoy the end of the New 52 as it's coming to a close, and we will talk to you on Sunday.